Hi there everyone, my name is Alex, I'm a personal trainer and nutrition coach, and today I'll bring something different for you. I will not be teaching anything or explaining anything. I'll be simply talking about my top 5 personal best bodybuilders. When I say my best 5 top bodybuilders, will be in more facts than actually the body itself, okay? But some will imply that, some others will have another influence. So let's check the list and then you will understand what I mean. In 5th place, it's someone that made history long ago, okay, and his name is Arnold Schwarzenegger. You probably may feel, why is not number 1? Well, I'll explain why. Arnold was the one to make big history in bodybuilding, okay. His love for the sport, it was something that he shared, okay. That's why in the 80s that bodybuilding becomes something much bigger, you know. After 78 you can tell like everything start changing a lot, okay. So that's we can thanks to him, because Joe Weider bring him, okay, to America to basically be his example of bodybuilding and share the love for bodybuilding, okay. And then when in the 80s, when he start doing the movies, what happens? It start bringing like more fame to the sport, more appeal to the sport. So it was someone that was the symbol of the sport, and it is nowadays still, okay, because he still tried to be relevant in the sport. And he have one of the biggest competitions as well, as like Arnold Festival sports, you know, like Arnold Classic, etc. So like everything you have done to improve the sport, to give open more doors to other athletes, everything. So when he was a movie star, that promotes a lot, because it's what he do, you know. I mean, he's a big guy and he show like cut a bit of the ignorance that people have about the sport, okay. So that's why he's in my top 5 bodybuilders, because he built an awesome body. Of course, it's one of the best chests ever and arms ever, but in terms of completeness, it's not as complete. But we have to understand that the criteria back in the days were different as well, and everything around it was different, okay. Today we have more technology and other stuff as well around, so it's different. Things change, new times, new era, everything is different, okay. Next one, in 4th place of my top 5, I put Dexter Jackson, or the Blade, and it's simply because of that. In basically 20 some years that is competing in high level bodybuilding, he is called the Blade because he is consistent. He is able to bring always a good package, and he just retired right now in 2020, which is like remarkable for someone, I think, start competing at the Olympia in 98. So you'll see it's a lot of years, 22 years competing in the Olympia, basically, even if he skipped 1 year or 2 there, but whatever, he's being like a top bodybuilder for a long time. Because of that, I would say it's like the 4th one, because it's like in general it was to bring longevity in the sport as well, because you don't see anyone with such a long career in a professional level, okay. Amateur you can say, but professional level in like that high standard, you don't see it. And we probably will see it more or not, depending in the conscious of the younger generation as well. I mean, how everything is going, and the use of many things around in the industry will depend on a lot of factors, and the will of each person as well, okay. In 3rd place, I have Lee Haney. Okay, Lee Haney is it was the first one to break down the Arnold record, holding record of Mr. Olympias, which was 7. Lee Haney has 8. Okay, it's simply because his body for me is like is a beast and is aesthetic. Okay, it's not a mass monster, but it's huge and is aesthetic. For me, in my opinion, it's the best physique overall, from the top to the bottom. It's like let's say perfect. I mean, of course you have his weak points probably but in terms of the top bodybuilders, I think he is the more complete and more pleasant look, and looks like let's say he calls himself classic, despite he's bigger than the classic category that we have nowadays. But yeah, that's pretty much the thing about him. In second place, I have Dorian Yates. Dorian Yates have to be in the list simply because his mindset, he was the first mass monster to come out as well, and the way that he lived the lifestyle, everything, like he creates something new as well. And he was the first one basically to come out with a different workout technique, you know, because the way his workout, the high intensity training, exists before, but it was a bit ignored because they want to, the guys winning the Olympia as well, were doing the way that basically Ben Wither was applying, that what bodybuilding should be. Okay, so that's something that a lot of people don't speak about, but yeah, that's one thing that is relevant for his winning as well, because probably if it was a few years earlier he wouldn't win. But the thing is, like, when he came back after to lose to Haney and got second place, he just like transformed, you know, like even more the year even after he came even bigger because he fixed what he did wrong the year before. So okay, he was basically the first mass monster and was the impact in that day. So it's impossible, like he's so much like steps ahead of the others, it's impossible to not give the win to him. I mean, it's like you are just like what I'm looking at, you know what I mean? This kind of feeling compared to others. Okay, if everyone was already at the same level, it would be a bit different, but yeah, that tells a lot. And it was really like dedication, because even with injuries he still goes on and win with one arm, basically two of them if I'm not wrong, but the last one was the worst situation. But that's the thing, like if you are more ahead, it's not because exactly of one bicep that you will lose, but can be enough. I mean, may affect the score definitely because it's lacking there, but if you are in the rest much more like ahead of the others, I believe that's why he wins. And the lifestyle, he just closed himself and it's just like a racing horse. He just focused in that. He's living 100% the lifestyle that he needs to be the champion, basically. And no one is willing to do that nowadays. You won't see it as much as that time. Besides, the times are different as well. I mean, today we depend on much more about the social media and everything, so that impacts a lot. If Dorian was doing some kind of raining right now, would be the same? Don't think so. He would have to work different. Okay, he wouldn't have the same way to be able to be the shadow like he was, so definitely would be different for him. Okay, so it was his time, it was the best he could do, and he could do it, and probably was the best option for him and the best era for him, let's say, because of the way he wants to work. He was able to. Okay, today would be different. He probably had different mentality as well, but that's it. That's what I think. And now number one and top in the list, I mean, it's quite obvious. Some people may disagree, but I think like Ronnie Coleman it's even like the number one without question. I mean, he win 8 times as well, losing to Jay in 2006 if I'm not wrong. But it's like, it's really like a lot, like not because of the 8 wins, but really like he came and he keeps improving. And that's the thing, like the way he was competing natural was already impressive if you look in that way, and then he just start doing everything and everything start to working for him, you know what I mean? So it really came and start winning everything. He just kept doing what he was doing, like he said. So it's like just came and win. It was like a monster, and it's very impressive the dedication he has to the sport as well, because we have to see was his injury a lot, his knees, his back, everything, because of the dedication he has and the love he has, because he was doing it because he loved it. That's why everyone should be doing the sport as well. But if you're an athlete, okay, you don't have other way to explain. He was able to almost be a Olympian champion and could be a power lifter as well, like if you focus more on it. But that's the thing, he dedicates a lot. He was doing stuff that no one was doing as well. Let's say Dorian and Ronnie was like the most dedicated. You can't deny that. They were like giving everything, and Ronnie take it far beyond because of that, you know, like. But that's the thing, like Dorian focus on improving the body, while the Ronnie wants both lifting and body. So because of that, it go too far, but it was his decision, and if he feels happy with it, awesome. That's the way. I mean, you should do what you want, right? Like, you should be happy the way you want, but you should think about the consequence as well. And if you agreed with the consequence, you'll be happy, right? So because you know that will come for. So I'll wrap up the video here. I hope you enjoy it. If you agree or disagree, comment below. If you like it, you like it. If you want to share it, you share it. That's my opinions. This is my own thoughts about it and what I relate to in bodybuilding history. I hope you enjoy it, and I'll see you in the next one.